Hello, dear friends, and welcome to another episode of the Alignment Podcast. My name is John Stringer, and once again, I'm delighted to be here. Today, I'm speaking from the heart after graduating from Morehouse College with a BA in Business Administration and Management with honors cum laude. I am very grateful for that milestone. And what was interesting this year is the commencement speaker was the President of the United States, Joe Biden. It was somewhat controversial leading up to the commencement, and the commencement went beautiful. There were some protests, but they were dignified, respectful, showing Palestinian flags, wearing Palestinian scarves. Some students turned their chairs around, seniors turned their backs around as he was speaking. Some walked out. The majority listened, and I was one of those who listened to see what he had to say. And honestly, all I'll say is I stayed present, stayed as loving as possible, and listened. And that was mine to do. So, got to celebrate with my family. A lot of milestones unfolded. And I want to say that I'm seeing how listening, aligning, being present, using my spiritual practices, all the changes that have occurred, relying on community, relying on the divine to lead me in how best to serve. All of this has led me to so many dreams fulfilled. It's amazing, actually. It is tremendous. And what I find most significant is it all begins with going within to that kingdom of the divine, the kingdom of God within us. Taking captive every thought, choosing rather higher levels of consciousness, letting the mind of spirit guide us in our thinking, renewing our minds and transforming us so that we might be expressions of limitless love and light. I'm finding it more and more important to do this, especially in this time where things are amplified. Whatever you choose is amplified. So if you choose resistance, judgment, anger, fear, it's amplified. If you choose to relax, surrender, trust, align, let go, it's amplified. Yes. So that's what I'm finding reassuring. And whatever you choose, what's beautiful is both teach, whether you choose suffering or bliss, resistance or alignment. It all teaches us in its own way, equally noble. And of course, it feels much better to choose bliss. So I'm choosing bliss more consistently. I'm grateful to listen to the divine, the great Father, as I call it, or the great Spirit, allowing it to lead me moment by moment so that I can show up fulfilled and able to serve from a place of wholeness. I spoke with a friend today also. We talked about the beauty of how trusting the I am, we'll call it, being present now and allowing that to lead us, can guide us. And we don't always see the big picture until it's woven the web and things have unfolded and we can look back and say, oh, I see the picture now. But just by trusting, takes us here and there and weaves there. Suddenly, Once it's unfolded, we've created this masterpiece of genius. I see that in writing music. I see that in writing my talks. I see that in speaking to you now. I see that in all the things that I do, even the clients I serve through the intuitive guidance sessions where I invoke the spirit to guide me. All those ways I see when I receive the symbols and translate them, whatever it is, tapping into genius, it's masterful in how it guides us into perfection. Even though along the way we don't necessarily know, but it brings us back to the thread. My friend and I even talked about how you may be speaking about something and go on a couple of tangents, and if you relax, the thread will come back to you, right? Same thing of if you're trying to remember a name, you're trying real hard to remember the name, and if you relax and just affirm, it'll come back. Usually comes quickly, sometimes anyway. I find that true for me. All of those things have in common trust, letting go and not fighting so hard, being present and allowing ourselves to be led back to the thread. So when we're resisting, judging, fearing, etc., we're distracted. But if we relax, align, allow, let go, we get led back to the thread. That thread of bliss, of oneness, perfection, and power. That thread of limitless love and light, wholeness, completion. Yes. May you be led back to the thread.